It's Monday, August 23rd, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, we have the latest on the Prime Minister's national address, a former Defense Force officer using his property for a bush medicine garden, the election season jump-starting some creative ideas, and Jazz adds to his home run tally. So let's start the morning off right.
Predict the future is to create it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And guess who's back? Good morning, everybody. It was like, I haven't seen you in such a long time because you was gone for 3 weeks and then I was gone for another one.
Yeah,
so
you look quite dapper this morning.
Yes. I've been in the back of my closet, was doing a little spring cleaning, and I found some old clothes that I didn't wear for quite some time. So now I'm starting to put them on. It's like, how was it? It's like Gladys Knight without the pimp last week.
Gosh.
But you had the Barry White of radio, Desmond Sanders,
Luther Vandross.
with that baritone voice, just making sure everything was okay with you.
Yeah, so you seem to be a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
I'm in a good mood. You know, you gotta have a lot of, you gotta lift your spirit up. A lot of things are happening. So you gotta live it if you want to be it. So, and I was reading a lot over the last couple of days, so I'm feeling much better.
Ready for the season.
I'm ready for anything the world throws at me. I'm just ready, and I hope somebody's ready to win this bag from Janae's Uniform Center. You know, school is going to be opening up next week. I don't know if it's going to be in face-to-face or virtual, but whatever you want, you can get your school supplies from Janae's Uniform Center. And today we're giving out this uniform bag. And you know, people are complaining that there are so many colors out there on the street. So I decided to give the question this morning like this. How many colors are there in the rainbow? And you can call 502-3870. How many colors are there in the rainbow? Not how many colors are out there on the street with signs. That's what we don't want that. We want how many colors are there in the rainbow. 502-3870.
Can I guess?
Give me a guess.
7.
Desmond, I know you don't miss up, so what's happening out there on the streets? Good morning.
Well, if LaDawn Charles can guess, I say 7. 7 colors in the rainbow. I don't know. That's my guess. But anyway, Charles, back to have you back in the seat. I know you had an enjoyable vacation, but here things are picking up here on Independence Highway, Independence Drive. A number of persons are traversing the streets and getting set for a brand new weekend. Now, fresh of the weekend, we had a number of total of 10 accidents. So I want to remind motorists out there to please take it easy on the streets and drive cautiously. Corporal Patrick Kemp joining me on the broadcast this morning. And election fever is in the air. A number of parties are getting ready and set for the big day, which is September 16th. But I want to remind, we have some tips for those involved in the election process and those on the streets. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sanders, and good morning, Bahamas. And you're absolutely correct. You would have noticed an increase in the flow of traffic, it seems, especially during this time. And I just want to remind the motoring public out there to please drive with due care and attention. I've noticed a lot of persons, regardless and respect to which party you support, to still do things in decency and in order. We still have a lot of persons who are traveling through the streets. They're driving and creating chaos. They're hindering the flow of traffic. They're causing obstruction to traffic, and it's causing some rage to be stirred up. And we don't need that type of activity on our streets, because one problem can lead to the next.
Any major roadworks that you can think about that's happening?
Well, you know, throughout the island, you would discover that there is some minor work that's taking place. As usual, when you come across these areas where they have some works going on, please plan your route ahead of time so that you can get to where you want to go safely and in a timely manner. Also, I'm gonna again remind persons so that please, it may seem repetitive, but please drive with due care and attention.
Well, we're switching gears here. My last question to you. And my last question to you this morning, as we get set for a brand new weekend, it's a major concern on the streets, persons leaving the scene of an accident.
Mr. Sanders, this seems to be a recurring problem. And I must say, due to the technology and some of the stuff that we have to our disposal, it helps us to bring closure to these hit-and-run accidents in particular. Persons who refuse to remain on the scene. So thank goodness for our CCTV and other videos that we can use in the immediate area where an accident would have occurred and persons refuse to stay. We normally do good by bringing that matter to a closure.
What's the citation quickly?
Well, in terms of that, it is an offense that we like to say it is failing to remain on the scene of an accident, and it in most cases it carries a heavy fine. And you will find yourself before the court to deal with such an offense. Again, persons try not to engage with people who refuse to remain on scene. If possible, get as much information as you can so that you can forward it on to us and we can do a follow-up and bring these persons before the courts.
All right, so let's make it a great week, a great Monday, a magnificent Monday to all of you. Drive to Arrive Alive. Corporal Patrick Kemp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. Desmond Sanders out here, Independence Drive. Charles and LaDon, back to you in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Des. We are waking up to 82 degrees, mostly cloudy, wind southeast at 10 miles per hour. Humidity 78%. A robust high-pressure ridge combined with dense plume of Saharan dust will continue to generate moderate to fresh breezes and drier, more stable weather conditions across the country throughout tonight. For all areas, weather partly sunny to sunny, hot, hazy, and breezy, with a few isolated showers today, turning fair to partly cloudy and warm tonight. Your daytime high temperature 92 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low 79. As we look ahead to Tuesday, weather partly sunny, hot, hazy, and breezy, with a few isolated showers mainly in the southeast Bahamas. 90 in the day, 79 at night, and then on Wednesday, weather variably cloudy, hot and breezy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. 89 in the day, 79 at night.
The government's COVID-19 national vaccination campaign ramping up this week now that more than 500,000 doses are in country. This according to Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis as he delivered a national address last evening. With more than 129,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses already administered nationwide since the pandemic hit the country last year, March, government's message to get vaccinated is resonating to Bahamians and residents. As of August 21st, more than 55,000 persons are now fully vaccinated. Close to 11,500 of those doses were given out just last week.
On New Providence, 70% of doses administered were first doses. And on Grand Bahama, 53% were first doses. These are significant and very good numbers.
Citing the extraordinary logistical challenge of Family Island vaccinations, the Prime Minister also announced in his national address the news that Family Islanders were waiting to hear.
Doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines have already been sent to San Salvador. Vaccination teams will be returning to the Family Islands starting with mainland Abaco on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. The following week, vaccination teams are expected to return to Exuma and Eleuthera. On the Family Islands, second doses of AstraZeneca vaccine will be administered along with the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Pfizer will also be made available to residents 12 and over.
The death toll still rising as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Health's latest release confirming 5 more individuals have lost their lives as a result of the pandemic, all from New Providence. The deaths were reported between August 4th and August 18th and range between the ages of 48 and 60, 4 males and the other a female. There are also 108 new cases of the virus, 91 in New Providence, 7 in Eleuthera, 5 over in Grand Bahama, 2 in Abaco, and 1 each in Bimini and Cat Key, Exuma, Andros, for an overall total of 17,386. The first identified case in Ragged Island has now been reclassified and now added to New Providence. 4 of those individuals from New Providence, along with the case in Exuma, have a history of travel within the past 14 days. 53 of the new cases are male, 55 are female, with the other 2 unknown. Hospitalizations are at 148, with 11 in the intensive care unit. 3,200 cases remain active. There have been 8 new recoveries, bringing that number to 13,712. As the country continues to navigate through the COVID-19 pandemic, Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, will address the country tonight on plans for the 2021-2022 academic year. You can catch that national address live at 8 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network. The Free National Movement's candidate for Mangrove Key, Central and South Andros, business leader Kenneth Smith, has withdrawn from the race, reportedly due to an illness. FNM chairman Carl Culmer confirming in a statement over the weekend that Smith asked that his name be removed from the nomination, citing health reasons. Culmer said the FNM regrettably accepted the resignation, but respects Smith's rights to privacy. Following that withdrawal, 32-year-old D'Angelo Ferguson was announced as a replacement candidate. Ferguson has a background in information technology and is a former trustee in the Torchbearers Youth Association. Some good news for voters over the age of 65. All eligible registered voters in that age bracket may apply to vote in the advanced poll. Others eligible for the advanced poll are nominated candidates and their spouses. Overseas voters applying with Form J and confirmed voters scheduled to be out of country. In his national address last evening, Prime Minister Minnis clarifying some of the COVID-19 protocols that will be in place for the upcoming September 16th general election. He assures that the voting process will be safe.
The emergency orders limit the number of people campaigning in groups to 5, all of whom must be fully vaccinated. I also note that Bahamians 65 years and older will be permitted to vote in the advanced polls for their further protection in the upcoming general election. In terms of public health measures, this will also reduce the number of Bahamians voting on a single day.
And when we come back, a former Defense Force officer using his property for a bush medicine garden. So keep it locked.
Activate your power with the new ScotiaCard MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
Getting your kids back to school is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Omni Financial. Receive up to $3,000 in 48 hours at reduced fees with Omni Flash Cash. Pick up those back-to-school supplies with any of our financing partners or send money worldwide to any of our 4 remittance brands with Omni Money Transfers. Visit any of our Omni locations throughout the Bahamas. Omni Financial for all your back-to-school financial needs and more.
It's been nearly 2 years since Hurricane Dorian ripped through the island of Abaco, damaging homes, buildings, and schools. One of them is St. Francis de Sales, a primary school funded and managed by the Catholic School Board. Director Claudette Rose says additional upgrades are being carried out just in time for the new academic year.
We are going to be able to open full primary for this academic year, so we're very happy. You know, last year we did a phased approach because we only had about 4 classrooms available after the hurricane, you know, with the renovations. This year we put up a brand new administration block, and we also have renovated the upper primary block, and so now we will be able to host all of the primary students in Abaco for this year. And then we have Every Child Counts, which is the special needs school. And their construction is basically done as well. And so we would be able to have those students back.
Now, when it comes to repairs to schools over in Grand Bahama, the Catholic Board Director had this to say.
Grand Bahama is ready. You know, Grand Bahama, they were working full in person from November of last year. And so with the new schedule, though, unfortunately, they're going to have to go to a hybrid, as well as it's recommended that Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Bimini, Exuma, Eleuthera do the hybrid. But again, that is dependent on the enrollment of your school.
Now, their spotlight is often buried, but their love and compassion shines bright. This morning, Kelsey Johnson sheds light on the essential service that's usually the last to be called in.
You've heard about first responders and their role. I'm pretty sure last responders has never crossed your mind. That's because the job of a last responder is oftentimes buried, but their role is equally as important as those who arrived first on the scene. A mortician's life, or even that of a funeral director, is not glamorous, and the burden gets heavier every day. The most challenging part, keeping themselves and that of their loved ones and workers safe, while making the last visit for family members memorable. President of Sweeting Mortuary, Dominic Sweeting, tells us how they handle dead bodies that were infected with COVID-19.
Well, when the body is released from the morgue, what we try to do is to sanitize the body off, sanitize the building, give them proper preparation, embalming, whatsoever, and the body can be there, proper embalming, 10-15 years.
Here's what really goes on behind the scenes.
In the preparation room, you should have proper sanitization. You have hazmatic suits that you have to wear. First of all, you have to have your building sanitized. You have to have your morgue sanitized. Like sometimes, depending on the amount of influx you have, you should have your building sanitized about 2 or 3 times a week.
Managing director at Demerits Funeral Home, Llewellyn, asked what tells us how the body is treated.
There's special lung treatment, ear, nose, and throat treatment, but it takes 3 days. It's a 3-day treatment that we have to do. And once we complete the 3-day treatment, then the public is no longer at risk.
Aswood sheds light on the cost attached to the process.
Definitely, the operating cost for the funeral home has increased. Keep in mind, the economy is not in a stable position at this time. So because I have to spend more on operational costs, that doesn't mean that Joe Public or Jane Public has more money to spend. You see, their cash brackets are still the same, but we have to do further treatment, so the company has to absorb most of that cost.
Our last responders are loving, caring, and compassionate people who, too, are feeling the strain of the COVID virus.
Bahamians have used native plants for medicinal purposes for hundreds of years. The tradition, called bush medicine, was brought to the Bahamas by African slaves and gained importance in family islands where doctors were rarely available. Well, this morning, Desmond Saunders introduces us to a local herbalist who is using this Bahamian tradition to promote a healthier lifestyle.
Retired Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Officer Gary Livingston Roberts has transformed his 4-acre Coral Harbor property into a bush medicine garden, teeming with a wide assortment of native plants and fruit trees, serving those doses of longevity and healing that everyone needs.
It's all incorporated in the weeds. Like I say, I don't cut my yard unless I pull out the weeds that are beneficial for medicine.
There's a moringa, the immune system booster, and the Surasee, known to cure hypertension and the common flu.
The Surasee, you know, it's a local name here, but in other regions it's known as, you know, like Karaili. It could be utilized as a tonic. When I say a tonic, it's like almost all-purpose. It is also utilized for skin conditions.
The shepherd needle.
And the shepherd needle is good for like stomach conditions.
And the popular blue flower, he claims, treats COVID-19.
This ammonia could make like 2 gallons. I prefer to put the bush into the water and let it reach a boiling point and turn it off.
Even the seeds from these popular fruit trees have some medicinal value.
Mango seed is dried. What I usually do is grate it, put it in the sun to dry. It dries rather quickly, and then you put it in the blender, turns it into powder. This, along with several other seeds, I usually recommend for like cancer treatment.
The practice and study of herbal remedies has been a lifelong passion for this 63-year-old herbalist for the past 20 years.
Looking in the books, wherever I go, you know, I used to cruise a lot, so whatever port I go into, I would go check the local bookstore, herbalist, to find out, you know, like what's going on in their neck of the wood.
Now, before using bush medicine to treat any ailments, Gary recommends consulting your physician. For now, Roberts hopes he can share his magic and the benefits of herbal medicine to more locals around the country.
Well, the present government was organizing some 25 acres up on Gladstone Road. And I had planned to apply for one of those slots.
Great story there, Jasmine. Thanks a lot. As we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On August 23rd, 1999, former South African President Nelson Mandela arrived here in Nassau, Day, and on a private visit, rather. Also on August 23rd, 2000, the United States Agency for International Development provided $1 million for Hurricane Floyd relief in Cat Island and Abaco.
Tonight at 8, tune into the ZNS Network for a back-to-school address by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd. That's a back-to-school address by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd. Tonight at 8, right here on the ZNS Television and Radio Network.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
Charles Chisholm and the Miami Marlins in the midst of a 7-game losing streak. After being swept by the Braves last week, they were also swept in a 4-game weekend series with the Cincinnati Reds. Jazz providing a bit of a bright spot on Friday night, hitting his 14th home run of the season, a 3-run dinger in the 8th inning. Jazz finished the game 2 for 3 in a 5-3 loss. The Marlins now return home to start a 3-game series with the Washington Nationals starting on Tuesday. Chavez Young doing it all for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats in minor league baseball. Check out this catch he made in the outfield on Friday night. He wasn't too bad at the plate either, hitting his 7th home run of the season. He fished up 3 for 4 and drove in all of his team's runs in a 5-3 loss to Hartford. And after the break, the election season jumpstarts some creative ideas.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
Tonight at 8, tune into the ZNS Network for a back-to-school address by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd. That's a back-to-school address by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, tonight at 8, right here on the ZNS Television and Radio Network.
Businesses across this country bringing out their creative side this election season, offering up some special items themed with the 2021 season in mind. Here's Antoinette Smith.
It's an election season so hot, it sizzles.
We just toss all that together.
But not in the way you think, as the steamy debate you see here is not quite about the political parties, but rather a spread of tasty dishes inspired by those hopeful to clinch the victory in the upcoming general elections.
We have a rich tradition when it comes to politics and our election system. So what we did at Manuel was just play around with the food and try and make fun, you know, and keep the Haymans nice and happy. You know, food is one way that we could, you know, express ourselves.
Just get a load of the Voter's Choice menu. There's a curried conch wrap inspired by the BDM, a green pesto pasta inspired by the DNA. For the Coalition of Independence, well, I'll just let Chef Gibson do the talking.
So let's highlight the block. Let's go black and snapper. Let's get some black beans. What nice black vegetables I get you? F&M, something hot, something fiery. And so when you go back into your experience, you know, hey, let's go red, let's go spicy, let's go, you know. And another one too, like the PLP, their color is gold. So I just choose crab cakes, something very simple. I make the aioli just to highlight their colors.
The portfolio here, detailed.
But this one is going to finish it with a little pineapple salsa on top.
The competition, sharp.
With a nice piece of lemon on the side.
And the race to be judged purely on taste.
So what we actually plan to do is we plan to update the public on how the meals are performing in regards to their respective parties. So we think that also be a fun and interesting and captivating way for us to keep this election food race going on.
And with that, may the best taste buds win.
Oh, that just made me hungry.
When I'm hungry. You folks out here be laughing at me because I be eating chicken and fries at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning.
And curry chicken.
Chicken and fries.
Chicken.
Yeah. So it tastes good. And that's an interesting story with Desmond, because you and I were talking while the story was on. I told I'd be pulling up most of those out the yard.
Shepherd's needle, I think that's the one.
I just pull up, you know. And you know, and sometimes I eat some food from some people. That's why I do not like to eat out. And I surely could use some of those medicines to clean out my stomach.
Now you know.
Because during this COVID, a lot of people being just putting a lot of stuff on. Oh, this tastes good and that tastes good. And when you taste it,
and you don't know where their fingers fit.
No,
right?
yeah, I know. So let's get to the trivia now. How many colors are in the rainbow? One more time.
I said 7.
You said 8, Ladon, but the answer is actually 7, and the colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. 7 colors, and the winner this morning of this nice school bag, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center, is Frederica Monroe for guessing the right answer. And she gets herself a nice, colorful bag. Glad to be back.
I have a surprise for you. You're going to be wearing somebody's uniform for back to school.
Is it St. John's?
One of the other schools. Yeah.
I don't want to go against my alma mater.
Well, I think I'm going against mine as well, but yeah.
What school is that?
I think C.R. Walker. That's the school.
That's what school you went to?
No, but we're going to be switching it up a little bit.
I always thought LaDawn went to the school for the specially privileged. Because she acts like she's better than everybody.
No, I do not.
They don't wear uniform. They wear those collars and nice short skirts with those.
And nice pleats.
Yeah.
Frill socks.
I'm so glad to be back with LaDawn.
And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning.
Everybody, don't forget safety protocols in place.
Have a great morning, everyone.
She got there so bad, she cost one of them all.